love. So today we are going to be working on a Vision Pro panel. Now, a while ago, I made a panel tutorial that actually got a decent amount of likes and a lot of comments, but since then, Bezel has been updated, and so it's time for a refresh. And if you want to skip towards the tutorial, feel free, but I'm just going to take a little bit of time to discuss what I've been doing. So as of late, I have moved apartments, I have started a job, and I'm traveling across the country talking about XR. And I'm so excited to start producing more videos about how to design for the human body and everything like that. So if you like that kind of stuff, let me know with a like, subscribe. Also, if you want to become part of a community, check out the XRD Discord. We're there to have a lot of conversation, share work, give advice on how to get a job, how to get started in this craft. So we would love to see you there. And if you want to learn more about how to create materials and stuff like that in Bezel, check out this link up above. Anyways, let's strap in and let's go. Okay, so to start, let's go to bezel.it, and then once we're in here, we're going to create a brand new file. As you see right now, we now have the option to have default scenes. So I'm going to do an AR starter file, and I'm just going to delete our dude right here, and then maybe I'm going to take this camera, maybe rotate it about 180 degrees, and then bring it back about, I don't know, 2 meters. We can change this right here from 2 meters to like 1.4 meters. Perfect. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to go to Figma. Now, I've created a brand new Figma file here. If you see right now, it has version 1.2. If we go down to tutorials, I have this brand new section here called Vision OS panels. And if you see right here, let's take a look at what's happening right now. This is going to be a little bit larger than the 1920 by 1080. That's because I've gathered a lot of these assets from Apple. Now, I am using the resolution 2610 by 1468 because Apple's resolution is a bit higher. And as you see, if we open up this attention area, it kind of fits nicely within here. So like this panel is hitting this vertical cone of 30 degrees. It's pretty nice. So I'm going to like hide this right now. And what we want to do is we want to have this panel come in from nothing. And then when we hit these buttons, it will switch between these panels. Now, we're not going to get super crazy into animations today. It's just purely about understanding how to move around, how to add things, how to do a quick animation. But for now, let's just like grab this panel right here and right click and copy link. Okay. Now, when I'm in here, if I paste, I will get my asset. Now, if you don't have your Figma token set up, don't worry. It's a pretty straightforward process. So if you need to pause it, that's completely fine. But in the case you already do have your token entered into Bezel, let's continue, okay? So right here, we're gonna see up here, we have what we call a view cube. If I hit this Y panel, it's gonna zoom me in and it's gonna switch it from orthographic to perspective. Now let's go back into Figma. Now, as you see, like this panel in the back is gonna stay the same. But the images on top of it are going to move. And right here we have a controller, and this controller we're going to be building, but we're not going to get into that right now. So the first thing we want to do is grab these individual assets. So I'm going to right click, copy link, and I am just make sure that nothing is selected, and I'm just going to paste. And what we can do right here is that I'm going to call this panel tracer, and this is just purely going to be for us to set things up. So I'm just going to move this over. Perfect. And let's duplicate the same for these last two images. Okay, so let's rename all of these. So this one's going to be image 1. This is going to be image 2. And this is going to be image 3. Now I'm going to grab all of these and I'm just going to say, panel 1 images. So now what we need as well is a back panel. So I already have this back panel created. I'm going to right click it. I'm going to go to copy link, and I am just going to paste it. Now I could have just probably pasted it within tracer. It's fine. I can now get rid of tracer, and I'm going to make sure this is going to be back panel, and I'm going to take these images and I'm just going to bring them up slightly. Perfect. So now we have all of those images in there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to grab all of these images as a single one. You can bring them in individually if you want to do like some special animation, but for now that's fine. So I'm going to right click, copy link, and I am going to paste it, and I'm just going to move that over here. And I'm going to make sure that right now I have these at 0.3, so maybe I'll grab that and then I'll just apply that to here as well, so they're on the same plane. Perfect. Now I'm going to say panel to image, and then I am going to grab both of these, and I'm just going to hit Control G, and I'm going to rename this panel images. How's that? That sounds good. So if we hit this Y, we have this perfect alignment. Okay, so now that we have both of our panels kind of crafted, what we want to do is we want to bring in the controller. Now this controller, we want to animate this bubble to go left and right while keeping text stable. So I'm going to grab this as a tracer again, and then copy link, make sure nothing else is selected, and I'm going to paste it. Now let's just move this down a little bit. This is where I want it, and then let's move it up on the y-axis like 0.05. So make sure that, yeah, all of the images are going to be able to flow underneath of it. Perfect. Now we'll call this like controller tracer. Okay, so now that we have that, let's hit this Y again, and we have that selected. Now let's just group this and call this control group, and then with this control group we're going to start compositing this. Now that we have this in here, we could add text individually with a text tool, and if you had SF Pro font, you can add this on top of it and it would be cleaner. But because this is a tutorial and not everyone has those fonts, we're going to just be using PNGs. So I'll show you a little bit of a hack here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this image right here, which is the bubble. I am going to copy the link, and then I'm going to paste it in, and I'm going to make sure this comes in here, and I'm just going to zero it out. And let's just rotate it a little bit. Actually, I don't think it needs to be rotated. Just move it up here, move it right here, and it's going to get a little bit funky. It's fine. So I'm just going to line up that text perfectly. Awesome. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to duplicate it by holding down Alt and dragging up. And then I'm going to hide this, and I'm just going to say this is going to be called bubble back. Cool. So now we have bubble back. Let's go back up to the Y, and I'm going to switch this from an I'm going to keep it unlit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image right here and I'm going to dump it. Then I'm going to come up to these corners up here, and I'm just going to round them out by dragging. And instead of changing the opacity on this, what I can do is I can just bring it down a little bit, make it kind of like a gray. And now that I have this duplicated, let's bring this up. And I have this text on top of it. Now we can keep it like this, but we probably want to make it a little bit more high fidelity, and we probably want to remove this back. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to, for the sake of this, I am going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to, you know, I don't know, remove the back, and then I'm going to probably even hit K, and I'm just going to change it from 3x so we have the most high fidelity type we can. Copy link. Now with this selected, if I hit Control V, it's going to then automatically update it. And as you see right now, we have this very, very clean type. So I'm going to bring this down right here. Perfect. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is over here, we have color. So I can do I can either do it a couple different ways. So maybe what I would want to do is I'm just going to keep this here for now. And then I'll just take color, bring it here. And then I'm going to copy this because I want to make sure I have the right size. So I'm going to copy link, and then I'm going to paste. And before things get too confusing, I'm going to call this, you know, black and white. And then I'm going to call this one color. And then I'm going to zero it out. Perfect. And let's just drag it over here. So I'm just going to bring it up a little bit. And then I am going to do the exact same thing here. And I'm going to change this color. I'm just going to break that. And I am going to maybe change the color of this to, I don't know, white. And then I am going to do exactly what we did last time. I'm going to hit K, 3x, copy link, and then I'm going to paste it. Perfect. So now we have color and we have that. Now we have the bubble back. Now this bubble back is going to move left and right. Perfect. As you see right now, the bubble back is covering color. So I want to make sure that my color and my white are going to be a little bit higher up. So when the bubble moves, it will not mess with them. Perfect. Finally, the tracer. Now this tracer is pretty much done. So what we can actually do is convert this to the back panel. And how do we do that? Well, let's just go to this unlit material. Let's hit this and let's zero out these corners. And then maybe I hit apply scale just to make sure And let's just make sure we get it all the way down. Perfect. So if you hit AS again, it's apply scale. We'll look at that in a second. And so I'm going to then change this background color to slightly darker color for now. And so let's just get this thing aligned. Now we have our panels composited. So the next thing we want to do is start animating all of these things within the panel. So to start animating, let's figure out what we want to animate first, and that will be our bubble controller. So I'm going to make sure I'm zoomed in here, and if we see bubble back, we want this to basically go from black and white to color, and when that happens, we want both panels to slide left and right. So with the bubble back selected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this thing up here called prototype, and we're going to see these group of nodes. Now I can add a state here or here, but the quickest way for me is if I just go here to this green dot and I drag it and it says state 1. Now with state 1 selected on bubble back, I'm going to move it over and I'm going to make sure that this lock ratio is set off, and then I'm going to zoom in a little bit more and I'm just going to drag it. As you see right now, it's very squished. I'm going to hit AS. And then I'm going to change this right here to make it completely circular. So if I hit base, it goes to base, circle goes to circle. Now, we want some kind of trigger that allows us to connect both states. Now, because I've already dragged this over to create a new state, I already have an automatic trigger, but it's basically saying on pointer down, which you can switch between all of these, but for the sake of this, I say on pointer down, it's going to say self. Now, this bubble is going to be behind these images, so it's not going to be able to get the trigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this little button right here, which is like replace, and I am going to go to color. Nice. Now I'm just going to drag back, and I'm going to switch this to black and white. So if I hit play, I'm going to hit camera 1, and as you can see right now, we have a animating little dot. Now this is kind of slow for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to select this, and I'm going to say instead of maybe 500 milliseconds, I'm going to set to 250. And let's do the same thing. So if I go back up to bezel, you can see it's a little bit snappier. So I'm going to hit Control 1 to get back here. So now we have that done. And let me hide my top bar. Okay, so now that we have that done, what we can do is we can start animating our panels. Okay, so with our panel images, which is a container for both of them, we can set another state. Remember how we did last time? I'm just going to drag out, and it's going to be state 1. I'm going to say maybe just color panel, and then I'm going to move this over. Perfect. And then I'm going to make sure that I'm going to go back. And so with this color panel over here, let's just set this self to color, and let's set this from black and white. So another hack I can show you here is let's just hide this. Because I basically have play mode already open, I can just grab this here, and then as you see, I have both play mode over here and edit mode right here, and I'm going to reset it. Let's see what happens. Nice. So now what we want to do, and I can just minimize this. So now that we have that done, it looks pretty snappy and nice. Let's change our panel to images, and let's give it a opacity of 0, because basically on its base state, we want it to basically not show up, and when it's in state 1, we want it to show up. So on base state, let's just change our opacity to 0, and on state 1, we're going to change the opacity to 1. So real quick comment, if you change any kind of major properties like opacity and stuff on base state, it will ripple across everything. You may want to think out how you want to do your node structure, but for right now, I think this is completely fine. So right now it starts off with base, goes to state 1. Now, because it starts off in base at 0 opacity and we want it to go to 1 opacity, let's just switch this and let's change the target area to color. And then let's just do the exact same thing here and do black and white. Okay, so let's do the same for our black and white images. I'm going to change, right now we have our base state. So I'm just going to change our base state, our state 1 by adding it. And I'm going to change that layer opacity to 0. And as you see right now, because its base is centered on 1, nothing is going to be tweaked. Perfect. So if we go to the panel, let's move this back and forth by going to base. Perfect. Now I want to make sure this goes back to full opacity. So let's see what happens when we go to play mode. Perfect. Now we're almost done. So one of the final things we want to do is we want this panel to fly out when someone triggers the panel. So how we want to do that is going to be quite interesting. So we have our panel. We have all of this stuff crafted already. So let's grab everything we've made. Let's group it and we'll call this VOS panel. And I'm just going to rotate this like 90 degrees horizontally. I'm holding down shift and dragging on the gizmo. And right now, let's just bring this up to like 1.4 meters tall. You know, that's how big I am. And I want this panel to fly out. First thing we want to do is I'm just going to create a plane by hitting RE, and I'm going to hit space, and I'm just going to make this plane pretty big. And I'm going to expand it, and I'm just going to change this plane to like next to no opacity for now. I'm just going to call this trigger plane. And with this trigger plane, I can then, when I click this, I can make this animate in and out. So I'm going to have this VOS panel. And let's just open this up real quick. And I am going to have this base state, and I'm going to push it out. And because I want to basically not have my base state be kind of where it's coming from, I can delete this first arrow, delete the second arrow, and I can use this state 1 right here as hidden. And I can say, here's a start, and I want it to start at hidden. Nice. So what I can do now, because it's on hidden, I can move it up. I can then even change the opacity. So I can do that real quick. And then I can basically drag this to base state. And we're going to make sure we trigger this bottom trigger area. So let's hit play. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Nice. Hit color. Perfect. Now, because we started with a AR mode, all of this stuff could be viewed in AR. And as you can see right now, if you wanted to get more into it and get more specific, your animations of all of these images and how they come in, you can do that with the state machine. And if you do that, please share them. Send a link in the comment down below or on the Discord, because I really want to see how you can really take this idea and run with it. Now, if you want to learn how to make a glass material for this panel, link is up above. And if you have any other questions, let me know. Anyway, take care and plus minus everyone.